fine, we'll forget it. Thank you, sir.
Got any extras? Thank you, Jim.
Now, we didn't come down here this morning to negotiate. The discussion has been over with. Come down here this morning to tell you this is the way it's going to be from now on out, from here on out. We're going to establish a high water mark, and if you put a canoe or a kayak on the water, when we're past that mark or at that mark, you're done.
No exceptions.
No
Can't have
exception.
a liability.
No more of that. No more of that. We're going to have a 42-inch height restriction. 42 inches. That way it takes all of that off of you. You can blame us because I can't let them on the water because I'm not allowed to. We'll take that responsibility. So no more of that putting 3-year-olds on the water. Period.
I have a 5-year-old from 5 and above.
If they're not 42 inches, Fred, they're not allowed on the water. Period. Okay? Now, the high water mark, we're trying to establish that right now with that transit. We'll get that figured out here in just a little bit. It'll be marked and there'll be a post up there, a rock or something, and you all will be aware of it. And that's it. It says an hour and 30 minutes prior to being released or when the water is at the high water mark. Now you folks all know, you call up there and they'll tell you when they're going to start those releases.
No, they don't.
They don't.
No.
They do unscheduled releases.
That's the biggest
on us.
problem right there.
Here's the man right here. Step right over here.
Unscheduled releases on us, they do.
Yeah.
So SWAPO will generally give us a good schedule, a good idea of what their plans are, but depending on when power is needed, they will kick the generators on.
Why can't they notify?
6 a.m. Sunday morning.
We can work with them to see if there's a way to notify you. Just please get with me and let's see if we can do something about it.
Good, thank you.
Adam, what's your most generally common generation days? Are they random altogether? Or
Summertime we're hitting our peak generation, which you guys are aware of, and then wintertime that'll switch to kind of the morning hours. And we've focused really hard on trying to get them to not generate in the weekends, and of course we're starting to do peak generation now. I think you're seeing a lot of high temperatures around the country.
Something else I think that a lot of people has a problem with is those times are normally Eastern time. They're not Central time. So I don't know if any of y'all have noticed that on your deals.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a point that that might be made.
Yeah, the power we create here reaches New York City.
Yeah.
So that's the grid that we're in.
So the scheduled times that's on your release is all Eastern time, not Central time.
It should be central.
They're Eastern, that's what got us.
Yeah, but it shows up at
Power Administration website is Eastern, but
Okay,
the rest of
okay.
them are Central.
And then when you go to
You just
the
got to keep in mind that one website is wrong.
Okay, I see.
Well, here's the deal. If this man is smart enough to figure it out, and this man's smart enough to figure it out, and this man's smart enough to figure it out, and we're all smart enough to figure it out, it's Eastern time, okay? There ain't no excuse for putting people's lives in danger and putting the people of this whole county in jeopardy of being in a lawsuit, because we represent the whole county. Me and this guy right here and Joe Kaufman, we represent the whole county, and if there's a lawsuit, we're it, and then it falls back on the people. So you're putting everybody in jeopardy by doing that.
I ain't
We
floating.
got insurance as a county to some extent. But say somebody gets killed right out there, they get washed up to a log and they sue us, and they successfully sue us for $30 million. That $30 million ain't paid by no insurance company. It goes on the tax roll from now till it's paid off, and then takes away from every other service that we have to try and provide equally for everybody, and it just don't add up, and it ain't worth the risk.
Operators that take out under the Highway 70 bridge are responsible to make sure your trash is put in the roll-off box. Now, we had a roll-off box moved down there Monday to keep the trash picked up. And it's your guys' responsibility, if you're taking out there, to make sure that your people that are hauling them people out from down there get their trash put in that thing, not scattered on the ground. scattered on the ground. Them people who live down there are sick of that stuff. And the first thing that's going to happen is when they start calling ODOT to complain, then you're going to have to find someplace else to get your kayaks out of the water. So from here on out, pick your trash up. If you can't get your hands to pick up the trash, then you don't need to be putting kayaks on the water here. Is that fair enough? Traffic signs must be observed. Now, every Saturday morning there's a big roadblock here and right up there. Don't be blocking these roads in the morning. That stop sign means stop. The deputy be down here trying to direct traffic. 45 mile an hour on the road out there. That means 45, not 65. People that live up there are scared to get out on the roads. We're going to observe all the traffic signs. Violation of any of these will result in permanent expulsion, and privileges will be, the use of this facility will be revoked. Permanent. Now I've tried to get along with y'all. We've done everything in the world to try to accommodate y'all to make it better down here. And y'all won't help yourselves not one bit. So that's over with. It's our way or the highway today, guys. Okay? Ain't no negotiation. Ain't no complaining. Don't call me if this man over here in the blue shirt says you're out, you're out. Don't call me and complain about it. Okay? If he tells you to slow down, slow down. You ought to be helping each other. But you won't do it.
Some of us help.
Some of us do, but some of us don't.
Yeah.
Now, there's a reason that these guys are all over here, because these are the ones that cause us trouble. That's just a plain simple fact.
What did I do to cause trouble? I haven't stayed.
Your drivers are the worst of the world, man, causing trouble.
Come down here one Saturday morning myself, just sat back and watched, and it is mass chaos. You come down, I don't know if y'all drive your own vans down here or what. If you don't, you ought to come down here and just watch how bad it is. Because when I'm standing over here, I'm lined up the hill, out of sight. And then here in a minute, I'll see a boat clanking down to the water. It ain't fair to this van full of people here that's 140 degrees. And they're sitting in the heat, and this guy 3 rows back is dragging down his boat to get the water and beat them out. I don't know which one it was. I didn't ask. I have told him to try and back up further. The van will be parked out here in the road and carrying the boats all the way to the water. And that ramp, you can tell me all you want, is too rough, but I think it's smooth enough. I got a car that would climb down that ramp. We need to stay, and that's something else I want to add. It ain't on this paper, but back down there as far as you can to that water. And if you can't back up, find somebody who can. Because when you park in vans out there in that road, it blocks this up, that up, and everything else. The next thing you know, we're up here fighting or something. That ain't good either. Y'all built a pretty good reputation for having something really good that people like to come do. But you're gonna have to maintain it.
I got a question about the buses. When buses come through here, I know we have the vans and trailers that come through here and let out right here, but on the buses, this little spot right here where we go through, can we stop? Can we stop there, let them out, and then move on through?
That's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
It alleviates the line. The bus takes up a lot of spot. If we can get in, once we get in, we just pull out, and that alleviates the line coming in.
Just don't block the road.
What alleviate a lot of that will be if we teach our customers at the site to get in their boats and get in the water, because a lot of you guys would bring your boats and just drop them and take off. I was there for 2.5 hours Saturday, and there were folks there that didn't know what to do. And
100 people be out here.
just standing
Stacked up.
around.
Like chickens in a coop, just standing there.
And I had some of mine standing around Saturday because of a mishap, but 24 years I've been doing this is the worst I've ever seen. And now I'm getting punished because of everyone else. All these restrictions. I abide by the rules, always, since I was a damn kid. And we get unfair stories written about us in the papers and stuff like that, all the river rescues. 24 years I've never had a river rescue. Never have. 24 years. And now it's just turning into this crap here. It's not fair. It's not fair to Greg and I. Greg has been here just as long as I have. It's not, I mean, you know, it's like we're getting, you know, the one thing is the mama didn't know who did it, she spanked all the kids because she should get the right one then. So that's what we're getting spanking for everybody else.
There's kind of a learning curve, and we've been at it long enough, I guess. But if y'all need help reading those graphs and you know, checking it on the computer, come by. We'll show you what we know.
Look at the
Help a
deck,
little
no
bit.
water coming over the side of the deal there. That'll tell you enough.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good indication that water.
There's a lot of stuff online that you can look at to see where the level is.
I know my wife's called you a couple times and asked you.
Yeah.
I called them.
Well-
I called everyone around and said, hey, they're releasing.
In my opinion, 392.5 is too high to float with a
Yeah.
group.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
And
know
when
what I
we check
mean?
those gauges, they're an hour or an hour and a half behind.
Danny,
Well-
When we
Danny's
check
been out
for
here
9
probably
o'clock,
longer
it's
than
still
anybody.
on 7 sometimes.
Danny can help you. He's got a website that kind of gives you an idea what to look at. And I know the graphs are wrong. When Adam and I talked about it, we're having a little bit of trouble with some of the, you know, if you see a graph out, call the Corps. They'll address it as best as they can. But just
I just got one more question. I know it's about the release schedules and all that. It says an hour and 30 minutes before they release. What happens when something like what happened to us happens when we let out 2 hours before they start generating, and the people that we let out, you know, they have a 4-hour time limit to get down, and they fart around and
Yeah.
jack around until they don't, because what happened with our incident, we had 310 kayaks, and a woman and 4 kids. They were on the tandems. The boys made it down 4 hours before she did. And plug come out of the boat. What do we do in a situation like that where we let out way before they even started to generate, but something like that happened?
Double charge them.
And I want to add further to that. We've been out here 3 years, Jimmy. We haven't had one incident. We haven't given that man any problems. We haven't broken any rules. That's the first thing we've ever had done to us. I don't appreciate being thrown in with the companies that do give y'all problems every week. I think that's a little ridiculous. I've been down here for 3 years.
If that woman would have drowned, and that kid
Any
would have drowned.
any incident is one too many.
That's right.
But we have not given y'all any problems, and we were respectful as we can be, and we're the smallest outfit
I
here.
was down here and I saw you man dragging canoes and kayaks down the hill. Don't tell me you ain't caused trouble, because I was down here.
Who was it?
Who was
One of the younger guys was driving your pickup. He come down here and he throwed out right there and drug them down there.
I asked that man yesterday, "Would give me any problems?" He said, "No, we haven't given any problems."
I was here. I witnessed it myself. That ain't some hearsay stuff. I'm just
You let
telling
me
you.
know, I'll fire him right now.
Well,
I promise you. We don't come down here to break the rules for anybody.
okay. Well, that's the deal. It's over with, guys.
I'll tell you something else that's problems too. You get those drive-ins around to the back side of the falls, and you know, they'll get running the trail on those tubes up there, and I'm the last one off the water every day, I'm telling you. And you know, that water, they go to release and it starts hydraulic in there about 3,500. I tell them, I said, it's unsafe. Well, a couple weeks ago, there's a woman come across there. She had a 12-week-old baby in her arms. She went off the front of it, and the baby's in the water, and guess who gets to pull it out? You know what I mean? So,
I
I mean,
want to add one thing. out of this list right here, there's trash, there's signs, there's put your trash up, follow the signs, watch the high water mark. Those top two, that height restriction and that high water marker, them other two are nothing to me. We can fix fenders and we can pick up trash all day, but we will not bring somebody back to life if they drown on this river.
And that's
And
good
I'm
rules. That's good rules.
100% with him when he said there's no exceptions. If I see it myself, if I drive across that bridge going to Eagletown and I see a kid down there and I can tell, I will whoop off the road and find out who it is.
That's good.
End of story. And I'm trying to just beat a dead horse, but that's my most important one right there.
There are
Common
people
sense.
Sorry, Jimmy.
that come with their own private boats, and they put themselves on up here. That's you know, I know you've seen people coming up here with their own private kayaks.
We have a platform with a 42-inch mark on it. And as long as he's here, they're not allowed to put on the water. Now, when he leaves, you know, you can't fix stupid. But the sign will be there. It'll be written in whatever, plain English, that they can understand. No one under 42 inches is allowed on a kayak on this river. Period.
yeah, but here's another thing though. There's some of these guys, private floaters, they're whitewater floaters. I mean, they wade on water up here, you know what I mean? And I mean, you know, they're taking their lives in their own hands. I mean, or what you're saying is a private floater, if it's up here to the back of the picnic tables, they can't get on.
that don't make any sense why we would let them do it and nobody else.
Well,
These
I
are-
mean, that's the thing about it. I think you're going to run into some legal issues there with.
That's fine, we got.
And I'm not arguing with you, Jimmy. I'm just telling you how the mentality of some of them.
Well,
You know
that's
what I
fine.
mean?
You know, they can go back to the Colorado River, they can go to the Illinois
Yeah.
River, if they want to do some whitewater rafting, that's fine, but this ain't the place for that.
Well, I think you probably somebody needs to make that known to them because.
There'll be a sign established that the high water mark is there, no one is allowed on this river, period. And if they catch them down there, these guys that do that swiftwater rescue from the city of Broken Boat, said they're gonna start issuing fines and levying fines.
Well, they need to pay us because we have to go to do their job for them.
Yeah.
There you go, there you go.
And it'll help everybody not to do it.
When they
It'll help
refuse to come out, we have to go get some folks on.
Yeah, I got their throwback out of the tree down there at Bubba the other day myself. You know, so.
Yesterday and asked if they would be here today. No, they're not going to be here because they knew they got outed today. So there's a reason why. I mean, you know, I understand all of this, but it's
Just do the right thing, man, that's all it is.
and that's what we have done, you know, and you're not going to recover what we lost from March until mid-June. You're not going to recover it. You end up killing someone trying to do so.
I don't know what y'all charge a kayak, but if it's 30, 40 bucks, whatever it is, that's a drop in the bucket, drop in the lake compared to what it's going to cost you. Cost us, cost the people.
We always talking about people standing around up here not knowing what to do. We were told by our boss, we get them down here, we get them out of the van, we give them a life jacket, a paddle, we put them in the boat, push them out on the water, not to leave till then, and we answer any questions they have.
Answer questions in the van on the way down.
Yeah,
That's what we always do.
I do it.
I do it before we get in.
Well, it's just like David knows that I had the one snafu Saturday morning, but there's times where we can bring 80 up here, drop them in 15 minutes, and there's still folks trying to unload 8 still standing over there.
Now I had a snafu, somebody jumped in my kayaks that weren't eating my customers, and my boat, I had to go back and I had people still standing here.
I said, red kayak on.
Saturday was unusually.
Busy.
I had
crazy.
two
I'm glad I wasn't here.
I had two blowouts on
Yep.
re-rig
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Whoever doesn't crimp their tie downs, can you start crimping them because they're falling off and we're running over them and getting flat?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Oh, and another thing also, now, there's nothing we can do if some of those folks are too small to float, if their party's at the falls playing and they throw them in the kayak. When they do that, they no longer float them after that. You know, they'll do that. I mean, you'll have that happen 9 times out on Saturday or Sunday. They'll throw small in the kayak. But you remind them, our age limit. It was our age limit.
Yeah.
And then the other day, we had one come in that was a 3-year-old in a boat, you know. They live down there.
You see, you can't fix stupid, Mike.
Yes.
You just can't fix it. We dealt with that for years and years. We put up a sign for road closed, bridge out. They run around the sign
Yeah.
and come down there and hit our equipment.
Yeah, happened to me the other day.
What is the basis for the 42-inch pipe? I mean,
Well, all across the nation, any carnival ride, any ride that there is at Six Flags, you got to be 42 inches.
it's in the carnival, right?
It is when you get down there to them falls.
I don't.
It's a ride anyway. It's a concessionaire.
I mean,
I mean,
you
I
look at
could
some of them roller coasters you ride, they're 42
We
inches.
just have an age
Never
limit.
less.
I don't agree with the height,
Yeah, if I tell them 6 years old and now
And
all
then they-
6-year-old that's kind of short and stubby,
That's
I'll
right.
have to turn them away now. And,
Yeah.
get to hear their parents.
So we have to have an age limit and a height
Height
restriction.
You better go back and you better get you a draw board and put you some inches on it.
I just hate them drive all the way up here and,
Yeah.
because we've had 6-year-olds.
You gotta put it on your website.
Most 6-year-olds don't be taller than 42 inches.
I hope so, I don't know, but I've always said that random.
Yeah, we've had a
Just to
6-year-old
be
that was probably about 36 inches tall last weekend.
Anyway, that's the rules, guys. That's the rules. We're gonna abide by them or we're not. So, end of the story. You guys got anything else? Now, we had Aaron and Adam with us this morning because this is a united effort. The district attorney couldn't be here this morning and the sheriff couldn't be here this morning. But we're all on the same page. Everybody's seen these little 5 simple rules and it's just common sense stuff. And everybody's agreed. As violators, if you come back down here, you've been exposed, or you've been, the privilege has been provoked. If you come back down here, you'll be arrested and fined for trespassing. Simple enough.
Alright, just one last time to make it clear. When they're bringing the boats down there, we stop right there until this is cleared away, right?
As long as you stop behind that sign and don't block this road, you'll be all right.
Okay. Alright, so
And
the
back-
buses
and
can go
back
right through
down far
there.
enough to not block it on that. David, are you still gonna put that rope up in there when we fix that ramp? Do some add on?
Yeah, as soon as you get the ramp where you want
We're gonna add some material to that ramp. We're gonna drive 2 long nails in there and a yellow nylon rope across there. Front tires behind that line.
Okay.
Most of y'all's vans, I've seen all of them just about. They're all about the same height, length. We're gonna set it where you gonna fit. We're not gonna have it where your trailer's off in the water.
Okay.
If I catch anybody from Skip Rock pulling kayaks like that, y'all let me know. They'll be fired today.
Yeah.
I promise you.
We, like Saturday, I was renting a stock trailer. It's a 32-foot long stock trailer with behind my pickup. And we backed it down there, but we backed it down so we can at least put 2 rows of boats, but we're still sticking out pretty good.
We're gonna, sometime between this season and next season, we're gonna add on some more ramps to try to make it better. Why? But, you know, if we had 50 ramps down there, sometimes it wouldn't matter. So just take somebody, one person, and that's the whole show.
Well, that's the deal, Jimmy. I mean, you know, Greg, don't you remember the peak trail we had to drag the boat through the?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Compared to what we had, and then still on
I've been down here like that when I was a kid.
yeah, little peak trail, but before we both.
Yeah, you had to go about 50 yards through the woods down there, you know, to get to the river.
You guys have done great with that. I mean, I know we just have to teach them how to back up the trailer, you know. I've got a 7-year-old that can back up the trailer better than some of these folks.
Two to a ramp. I know I don't have a worker here that didn't do 2 to a ramp anymore, but 2 to a ramp, and I've come down here where one dead center of the ramp where we can't do nothing.
Yeah. And then we gotta wait on him to move before we can get 2 more in. That slows everybody down.
Saturday. And I have a driver that we use on Saturday. It was the first Saturday I've been up here since.
When they get off the bus, I don't know what to do. Because he would just stand there until they got off the bus.
Like I said,
I
no
direct
week,
you
you
to go down
normally
and
kick
Yeah,
out
but
about,
everyone's
you know, have most of our boats on by 9:30, 10
So
o'clock.
I stand there and ask what to do until we unload and then they start to ask
It's 9 o'clock, or my 8:30. I know you folks got other things to do, because we got other things to do.
That's good.
Jump in just a second, if you don't care. You know, obviously this park is operated by the county, but the state of Oklahoma and of course the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers both have a dog in this fight, and we do support these rules.
Will you speak up, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
the state of Oklahoma also has interest here as well, and we fully support these rules and recommendations. This has been taken up to the director. I took it to her. There's nothing unreasonable about these at all. We completely understand that y'all operate a very valuable business down here. It offers our people a pretty unique experience down here. There's value in that. There's
A lot of it.
absolutely value in that. But you also have to look at the big picture too, because 9 operations equals $9,000 a year to McCurtain County. Just something to think about. $9,000 a year is a drop in the bucket to what this park generates in a year. So don't think that that's some sort of special privilege. I mean, it is. I'm just saying, look at everything. This operation is great, and it should continue on that path, but it needs to be done safely. So, it can be done.
Jimmy, one last thing, in law enforcement, I get along with all of them. I don't know every last one of them. But the guy that come down on Saturday, his man walked right over to me and with the pointing his finger, said, I was getting ready to piss some people off. That's not the way you start a conversation. That is not the way you start a conversation. You know, get out and stop the first vehicle and say, this is how we're going to do it. And then if they don't do it, then yank them out of the wrist right there. You don't walk up to someone and say, I'm going to piss some people off.
Stick a cell phone in his face, he'll stop it.
They won't say it again.
And, but, you know, I've been out on with the county many years.
Who was it?
Johnson. You know, that's it. And, you know, it's just one of those deals where, you know, I don't never disrespect the law. You know, I've been more of a help than I ever hindered. And that's not the way you started to say that.
Last meeting we established that we can leave our boats down here for like maybe an hour, right? Until like we can put them in. It won't work anymore.
There was a spot back there behind that sign.
Yeah, because one year we put our boats in the water and then we
Strung them out on a line, I remember that.
yeah.
He said he strung his boats out on the line. He don't know if he can do that.
Pre-staging.
I always try to, you know, like if I have my biggest group, like we'll have 140 get in at the same time next Saturday. And we'll try to put them there about 30 minutes before we'll bring all of them down. But we'll have about 15 people down there putting them in. They're going to take long to get them in.
That's fine. Get them out of here.
All right.
No,
Well, if I,
it's
you
tough
know,
to get
and
that
if
many
he
people
knows
going.
that I won't, whenever I was there 30 minutes past my deal, he come over to me, I just said not one word, I signed it, went on about my business. I abide by the rules.
Now, second week of September, I'm gonna have 215 with one group. I was gonna rent out a spot and start bringing all the boats, like rent out this spot right here and start packing them right here because 215 boats is gonna take a pretty good minute to get up here.
That's fine. You pay that $18 or whatever that's.
I'll pay the $18. Try to get 215 boats. It's gonna take me over.
September, though,
Yeah, that's over an hour and a half to get that many boats out here.